Okay, we are live. NQ Futures. Well, let's see here. I took a little scalp trade here for almost $100 right before we got on this morning. I was trying to put everything together and I saw this opportunity. It was over here, right there, a little scalp up. But the market is kind of slow today. These are days you have to be careful with this just slow grind up. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, slow. We had some opportunities here. The bull flag breakout there. I took a position right here. Sold right at the top of that candle out. Now it looks like we're kind of getting another setup here. It's a little more complicated on that candle right there. Yeah. So, the only thing with this breakout, that's the 5-minute chart. If we go to the 1-minute chart, you can see that right there. And we got some resistance up here. That's where we failed. See, look, we're 1-minute chart, seeing a bull flag breakout right there. I don't know how that might move up. Yep. Entry point would have been down here at the 9. Now we could come back down here. I'm not going to take this right now, by the way, but we could, perfect setup on the 1-minute. I just don't like this area of resistance up here, and I'll show you why in a minute. We could come right here. This is perfect. I mean, you get the 50, the 21, and the 9. You take a nice setup right there, long. Stop would be below this area right here for a continued push up. The reason I'm not taking it is because of this area of resistance here. Let's see. So 1-minute candle closes down here. Back down to test on the trend line. It's actually a nice setup, to be honest with you. It's actually a nice setup on the 1-minute. Yep, look at that. And up we go. Didn't take that, but there would have been a little tiny scalp there. Let's see how it works itself out. On the hourly chart, what I was going to say is on the hourly chart, you can see right here where we found resistance is this area right here. Now I like this area for shorts, this whole area here, because you got a big drop here on the hourly back on July 9th all the way down. Came back up, almost that high, back down again. So lower high, lower high, lower high. But anyways, let's see here. This whole area up here, to me, could be an area to start a position short. But the way this market's been moving, I'm hesitant to take any shorts right now. Let's look at this. You can see this if you look at the video I put out last night. I marked these areas right here. I said that this would be an area for a bounce. Didn't quite get down there today. And then up here would be an area for possible shorts, depending on how it looks. But we've had some strong, look at this hourly, up, 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 up. So hesitant to go short at this point. We will just keep an eye on it. If we go on over to the, we got some other stocks here. I got Tesla up, Coinbase, MicroStrategy. If we look at the Qs, let's do this. Okay, QQQ, NASDAQ ETF. You can see right here, breaking down. Interesting. Same thing, area resistance up here. We rejected. See these candles here. Area short. If we, let's see, this is a 5-minute chart. That bigger. Yeah, I mean, VWAP's way up here on the Q. The next pivot point down, let's look at the 15-minute chart. Is down here. So another point down on the Qs. Not seeing anything I love at this point. Back to the hourly, let's hit the 30-minute on that. $15. Yeah, this is just pretty strong today. And the 5. Got broke up out there, rejected. So, I mean, we could come back down to the 21 here. If you look on the 5-minute chart, we've respected the 21 most of the day. Actually, yeah, once we broke out here, all day long we've stayed above the 21. Couple wicks below, but for the most part, you see we touched it again here. So we've been respecting that. So I'd like to see when it comes back down here to the 21, we're gonna respect that again, sweep below this wick and maybe go back up. You could take a position at the 21 and then use this line here at 23.30 for your stop loss. Alright, that's kind of where we're at, just watching. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We are back. All right. Again, not seeing much that I like. Here we're coming back down to the 21 EMA like we talked. We've been respecting that all day. Do we take a position here for a move back up? Maybe. I don't, as a rule, I don't like to go long on a red candle. And I don't, unless I'm for sure we're getting a bounce. And I don't really like to go short on a green candle, especially in this market. So let's wait and see what this does. We could get a bounce here off the 21 and then move back up. We still got to deal with this pennant line here. So look, we're sweeping below the 21 just like we did down here. Are we going to get a wick? We've got 2 minutes left on this candle and we're coming down pretty decently. But I am going to take a small position here. Here we go. We're in. Let's see if we get a little scalp bounce up here. Hard to say. All right, that was a quick 50 bucks. Look at that. All right, so we are now at 140 for the day. Again, base hits, guys. If we just, just think if we could get 3 or 4 of those $50 scalps like we just took. I mean, look at the 1 minute here. That was a beautiful trade we took right there. Right here in this reversal candle and back up. Now we're coming back up. So, very nice trade. What I was saying is if we could get, just 3 or 4 of those $50 scalps every day. $200 a day. What's $200 a day? It's $1,000 a week. That's $4,000 a month. How many of you could use $4,000 a month? That's at least 1 to 2 payouts depending on which account size you get. And I mean, $4,000 a month, that's, a mortgage payment at least. Maybe a mortgage payment and a car payment depending on where you live and what size home you have. So, consistency, discipline, and base hits. It doesn't take, I know you see a lot of these people on Twitter and stuff making these unreal amounts of money, but it doesn't really take that much to make a decent living or use this as a nice side hustle to your first job. All right, back up. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Coming back up to the 9. See, we saw it just like we talked about. We said this earlier in the stream. We've been sweeping the 5-minute chart, sweeping below the 21. Wick up, wick up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So my thought was that we might do the same thing here. Come down. I had this as a stop loss level. And we did. We wicked right below the 21 and right back up again. So now let's see what happens. Coming back up to the top of this pendant. And let's watch. Got a big rejection on that pennant. Look at the 1 minute. Look at that. Big rejection there. That would have been a nice scalp, top of the pennant. I mean, technically, guys, you'd have to be, you know, this comes with experience and knowing the market. But on a situation like this, look at this. 21 up, pennant down. 21 up, pennant down. Now, it is getting tighter. So, this area right here, as the 21 continues to come up, this range is getting tighter and tighter. So, we're either going to see a break up, or when this 21 gets up closer to the top of this pennant, or we're going to see a breakdown. So we'll just wait and see. The thing with trading that I've learned is don't try and predict the markets. Trade based on what the market gives you. So a lot of people, oh, this is for sure going to go long. No, it's not. No, it's not. You could break out of this pennant, and then one tweet from Trump, and it goes, 100 points down. So make sure you get your stop losses in place. Alrighty. How's the Qs doing? Let's see. How's the Qs doing? Same thing over here. 5 minute. Yeah, market, look at this volume today. On the 5 minute. Volume is, look at it, coming down. Volume, it's typical this time of the day. Volume's coming down. So, probably in another hour, we're going to see this tip up a little bit during power hour. But right now, we just not doing much. Not doing much today. But we just wait. Again, we took a trade this morning for $100 or 90 something. I took another one for 50. Here we are sitting at 140. 140. Coming back up to this pennant right now. And will we reject again? Again, guys, like I said, the range is getting tighter and tighter. We're in between this 21 EMA and the top line of this pennant. So, all right, again, not much happening today. Let's see here. Just waiting, being patient. Got CPI tomorrow. See what happens there. Just hanging out in this range right now, hanging out in this range. Okay. Still in this range, guys. 21, top of this pennant. It's getting tighter and tighter. I think in the next 5 to 15 minutes we should see a break one way or the other. But we'll just have to see. Qs. Let's look at some individual stocks. Tesla, about even today. Coinbase, up about 2%. Bitcoin's at all-time highs, so yeah, been keeping an eye on Coinbase and MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy also up 2%, got all the way to 456 today. I don't know if is that an all-time high? Maybe not. Let's see. No, 543, so we're still a ways from there. But that would be the logical next stop if this thing runs. Nvidia, about flat today, right at that 165 level. Last week it got up to, I think, 167, yeah, up here, got up there. Palantir, boy, this thing's been running all year. Look at that. What a run. What a run. Look at that. Beautiful. Had AMC up on the chart only because GME was up on the chart, because Bitcoin's running. GME was purchased a lot of Bitcoin, so I was keeping an eye on that. Mara, a Bitcoin miner over here. How's our big stocks doing? Apple, down 1%. Avgo, Microsoft, down 0.2%. How about Amazon? That chart was looking good last time I looked at it. Yeah, about flat. So, all right, we're starting to tighten up over here. Look at the 1 minute. Look at this. Look at this consolidation area. Seems like something's about ready to happen. Let's go to the 3 minutes. Sometimes I like to look at the 3 minute. Up, consolidate. Trend line's a little bit higher there. Let's move that like this. Hard to say. It's the time of the day too. You know, we don't have a lot of volume. Probably going to kick in here in another 30 minutes or so. Okay, that's the 3 minute. Let's leave it there for a little bit. See how that plays out. Okay. Nothing happening here. Let's see, 5 minute chart. Back down to the 21 again. Alright, we just got a break below the 21. Let's see how this plays out. Back up again off the 21. All right. Well, I don't know how much longer I am going to hang on, guys. We're just seeing this very slow moving action today. Maybe we get some moves in Power Hour. Not sure. All right. Well, we're holding on at the 21. We're holding on at the top of this pennant. The range is getting a little bit tighter, but not seeing the volume right now. I am going to end the stream, and I'll take a look at it. I got a few things I got to do the next hour. Maybe at 12:20, 12:30, I'll be back. But again, $140 for the day. We took 2 trades, one for a little over $90, one for about $50, 2 mini scalps, and we're just going to end it here, and we'll see you back at Power Hour or see you tomorrow.